In this video, we're gonna answer the biggest question on everyone's mind. Should you pull Burnice White? So far, I've had an amazing time testing out this character in early access. Let's break down her kit, team synergies, meta value, and more to answer this question. Sit back, relax, and grab yourself some delicious nitro fuel. Let's do this! As a reminder, all of the content in this video is from the creator beta server of Zenless Zone Zero. Because this is solely based on the test version, this may in fact change for her final online results and values. Thank you so very much to Hoyoverse for granting early access, and with that being said, let's check out the amazing Burnice. Burnice is our upcoming S-rank Fire Anomaly Unit from the Sons of Calydon. She might be a little bit crazy, but trust me when I say her kit might be even crazier. She has two main mechanics to watch out for that really let her shine. First is the nitro fuel cocktail state, indicated by this heat meter. This will automatically be at 100 heat, aka max, when she enters the battlefield. More detail on this in a little bit, but this state allows Burnice to apply a debuff called Scorched to the enemies. In a nutshell, this just means that when other squad members hit the enemy, they'll do fire damage called Afterburn based on Burnice's attack value. The second main focus of our fiery waifu will be her energy, specifically with her specials. These will have different forms that'll be very important to master for different situations. The other part of this is obviously using EX special will lower energy, which will in turn charge up that heat meter we just talked about. Here's how it breaks down in all of her moveset. Burnice's regular basic attack is called Direct Flame Blend, which will deal physical and fire damage. Not really much to that. However, once you have 50 heat from that meter, you'll enter the nitro fuel cocktail state, and your basic attack will become enhanced. This move is called Mixed Flame Blend, when you'll hold down the basic button to activate it. Crazy biker waifu will spin continuously and strike a finishing blow, all dealing fire damage. You can extend the duration by holding the button, but this will also spend 20 heat from the meter. Something interesting about this move is that it will directly combo into her EX special Intense Heat Stirring Method Double Shot. And yes, I know that's kind of a mouthful. An important note is that this enhanced Mixed Flame Blend is one of the important moves that will trigger the Scorch status we talked about earlier on these enemies, and we'll further describe that with her core passives right now. Core passive number 1 is called Nitro Fuel Cocktail and is the primary source of everything in Burnice's kit. It's a lot of words, but it breaks down like this. When the meter hits 50 total heat, she'll enter the nitro fuel cocktail state until all the heat is gone. When she hits an enemy with Mixed Flame Blend, EX Specials, Chain Attack, or Ultimate, she will cause the Scorch debuff on the enemy. Like alluded to earlier, when a squad member hits this Scorch target, it will trigger Afterburn, spending 8 heat to deal fire damage equal to 350% of Burnice's attack, as well as Fire Anomaly buildup. This extra damage will trigger every 1.5 seconds, and for every 10 anomaly proficiency Burnice has, this damage will increase by 1% up to 30% total. With our quick math ability, this means we need to hit at least 300 anomaly proficiency for maximum effect. Bottom line with this crucial core passive is that Burnice will be doing a ton of damage in Anomaly even when off the field. Usually in the game so far, the Anomaly characters need to be directly attacking the enemy to trigger their attribute effects. Since this is not the case with Burnice, she has amazing utility just from this. You will primarily use Burnice off-field, but even when she is the active unit, she still does a lot. Additional ability Fire Kindling is the passive that will trigger when a Sons of Calydon member or Anomaly character is on the same team. When that enhanced basic attack Mixed Flame Blend or EX specials hit an enemy, Afterburn will trigger and Fire Anomaly buildup of the move will be increased by 65%. The duration can be further extended by 3 seconds when anyone on the squad triggers Burn. In other words, this means Flamethrower Lady will still be a crazy strong force even when on the field. Especially when comboed with the EX specials we'll discuss shortly, this is going to basically mean burn baby burn. And bonus points if you get that reference. For the sake of this video, however, I won't include any of the calculations, and I'll save that for a full Burnice White guide on her launch. Burnice's special without energy is called Intense Heat Aging Method. This will simply deal fire damage and can be boosted by holding the button longer. An important note is that this version of the special should not be used frequently, and her EX is much better. Intense Heat Stirring Method is the version with energy. Burnice will pull out a one-handed flamethrower and release a fire blast in a straight line ahead. You can continuously hold the special button to extend the duration using more energy and charging more heat for the nitro fuel cocktail meter. This move has a couple of extra cool caveats though. Similar to our Officer 148 Zhu Yuan, Burnice can actively sidestep dodge while using this EX special. Simply holding the joystick in any direction will cause her to dodge in that direction. Anti-interrupt is increased during the spray, and damage reduction is 40%. But wait, there's more. By pressing the EX special button again while spraying the one-handed flamethrower, Burnice will take out the other flamethrower as well. This will now be called Intense Heat Stirring Method Double Shot. It has the same ability and effects as the first form of the EX special, but will use energy faster and accumulate fire damage and anomaly way quicker. Here's an important tip to remember that will help you master Burnice's kit with this EX special double shot. Basic attack Mixed Flame Blend, EX specials, chain attack, and her defensive assist follow-up will all chain into this double shot. Make sure that you utilize this correctly and you'll really see that her kit is quite fluid and fun to use. In fact, through my testing, I've found that using this double shot portion of the EX special seems to get the best results no matter what. Since Burnice can still do damage and anomaly outside of the field, depending on what team you're using, she can really support other attack or anomaly units in this way. Really think of dual anomaly teams, but we'll discuss all of that in the team synergy section. There isn't anything too fancy with Burnice's dodges. Dangerous Fermentation is the regular dash attack dealing fire damage. Fluttering Steps is the dodge counter, which will trigger both physical and fire damage. I'll also reiterate that the only thing of note for the assist follow-up is that it will directly go into EX special double shot. Keep this in mind if you are focusing on more stun-related shenanigans, and in fact, using these defensive assists is a great way to cycle through your squad. Once your Decibel rating is at 3000 aka max, you know what time it is. Press Q to unleash Glorious Inferno. Fire Waifu will dash forward, leap into the air, and spray flames over a huge area for actually a pretty long time. This will deal massive fire damage and anomaly buildup, and trigger a quick assist. In fact, this really boosts the value of using this ultimate, and every time I used it, I would directly use this quick assist to go to the next character in the squad, most commonly another anomaly unit. By the way, in my testing so far, Burnice has charged up her ultimate so stinking quickly, it's probably safe to say it's the fastest in the game. When this quick assist happens, Burnice will actually spray for an extended duration. But I know what you're thinking now. Mogul, should I actually pull for Burnice White? Well, now that we know her kits and abilities, let's break this down and answer it. Let me preface this section by saying a couple of important things. First, you should definitely pull for whoever the heck you want to, and that will ultimately get you the best success in having fun and actually doing well in the game. I personally love every character that Zenless has released so far, so of course my wallet is suffering and screaming in pure agony. Anyway, I always include a note about their signature W engines in these kinds of videos. Burnice's is called Flame Maker Shaker, and it is very, very good. In fact, if you do pull the W engine, it can significantly change how you want to build Burnice. But I'll save that for the full guide video I'll release when she is finally launched. So stay tuned and subscribe for that. Here's the essay that got written for this W engine, but let's break it down into nice bite-sized chunks. Burnice's energy regen increases by 0.6 per second. When hitting an enemy with EX special attack or assist attack, Equipper's damage increases by 3.5%, stacking up to 10 times, lasting for 6 seconds. This can trigger once every 0.3 seconds, and while off field, the stack effect is doubled. Repeated triggers will reset the duration, and upon obtaining the damage increase effect we just mentioned, if you have 5 or more current stacks, the Equipper's anomaly proficiency increases by 50. The main points here are that 0.6 per second energy regen, which is actually pretty major, and the part that I talked about where it could change your build completely, especially when you consider that Burnice's best stats are anomaly proficiency, attack percent, and energy regen. You'll also get the equipper's damage increase by 35% for 6 seconds, and it resets every time you trigger duration. The 50 anomaly proficiency increase is really nice, but those first two are really what sells the W engine. Especially since Flamemaker Shaker's advanced stat is attack, it can actually be really useful on the other anomaly agents as well. Anyway, as for Burnice, it's worth noting that she will not be as universal as the current Caesar King. Think of Burnice as a much more specialized unit, especially for dual anomaly teams that we'll talk about in just a couple of moments. Based on her core passive number 2, we can see that she will primarily focus on anomaly units and Sons of Calydon members for these best teams. Her best partner will be Luciana de Montefiore, aka Lucy. Lucy has really good quick assist functionality with a great attack buff, an energy buff, and more that could really sit well with pretty much any team. And as you'll see here, most of the teams in fact did feature Lucy as the main support. What I found to be Burnice's best team might actually surprise you a little bit. Burnice, Piper, Lucy, in that order, was my favorite team to use. Let's call this the Sons of Calydon special, but this dual anomaly team featuring Assault and Burn was really strong, especially with Disorder. It's important to note as well that Fire and Physical are often paired up together in Shiyu defense and the endgame content, making this team even better. But don't worry, because I know what you all are thinking now. What about Jane? Since Burnice really excels at that off-field anomaly playstyle, Piper and Jane can really shine through more. Sadly, I gotta admit that maybe I'm just not that big a fan of Grace Howard though, because I did try a team with her. It worked pretty decently, but not nearly in the capacity of our physical anomaly units. However, there is one other team that I am interested in. If you don't have a stunner, weirdly enough, Burnice, Soldier 11, and Lucy worked pretty well. A bit of a warning about this mono fire team though. Soldier 11 is not the most mobile of units, so this team suffers big damage loss on hypermobile bosses, like the new Pompeii Overload. Secondly, stunners will still be better than Burnice in this team, just because Soldier gets buffed when the enemy is broken. Burnice obviously doesn't have the built-in days like Kalita or Ching Yi do, but this team can still work in a pinch if you don't have them. However, your main reason for pulling Burnice is going to be for those dual anomaly focused teams, specifically with physical. But what does this mean for the free-to-play side of things as well? Let's make it clear firsthand that Burnice will be amazing for a long time to come, and Hoyoverse is really good at keeping their units rather safe from that scary power creep. But I always try to be as fair as I can in my analysis. With that being said, Burnice is not as universal as Caesar King. As a free-to-play player, you'll get much more bang for your buck pulling Caesar King rather than Burnice. However, if you are focusing on Anomaly, then Burnice becomes a must pull. Don't forget that we're getting another Anomaly unit literally in the next patch, as well as another Sons of Calydon member in Lighter. And I'm not too religious, but oh my lord, the things I would do to get Lighter on my squad. Anyway, with Yanagi and Lighter coming in the next patch, there is a good chance that they'll have some kind of synergy with other Anomaly units, specifically Burnice. The category of Anomaly as a whole is more specialized, but also future-proof in that same regard. The same has already proven true for Zenless, and any future characters we get seem to buff the ones we already have. Not only do I personally love the story and polish and design of all of these characters, but it really goes to show how free-to-play accessible Zenless is as a whole if you know what you're doing. But there you have it for this guide regarding if you should pull for Burnice White in Zenless Zone Zero's 1.2 patch. My final answer to all of you is this. Yes, you should absolutely pull Burnice, not only for her design, but especially if you want to focus on Anomaly as your main source. She may be more of a specialized unit and not quite as universal as some of her other Sons of Calydon members, but you definitely won't have any regret spending your hard-earned polychromes on our fiery waifu. As usual, if you have any questions or comments regarding this video, let me know in the comments, as well as if you're going to pull for Burnice. I really look forward to discussing Burnice and Zenless as a whole with you all. Like the video if it helped in any way, and subscribe to the channel, with notifications on of course, as there is plenty more Zenless content lined up for your enjoyment, including a full Burnice guide very soon. In the meantime, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.